Hello guys, welcome to today's video. This video is all about CP awareness, as it is CP awareness month, and also today is CP awareness day, the 25th of the 3rd. So without me going on too much, before we get into it, let's go. Now, those of you who watch my TikTok channel will know about this, because I have of course done this in a TikTok as well. There are three main types of cerebral palsy. The most common one is called spastic cerebral palsy, and yes, that is correct. That is the correct name for it. It is the most common, as I say. As you can see in the image, 80 to 90% of it is spastic. Whereas dyskinetic, which is much more rare, arises from a different part of the brain. So depending on what you've got, depends on what area of the brain is affected. It is important to remember though that the effects of cerebral palsy have no effect on how intelligent you are or otherwise. It is purely just motor skills. Of course, you can also have mixed, so you can have parts of or symptoms from dyskinetic and spastic as well as ataxic as well, because, well, I myself recognise issues from all three different types. There's also, you can also group people with CP into what limit effects. So you can have it in just your arms, just your legs, one leg, one arm, or if you're like me, all four. So yay for me. I am quite a rare case in the fact that I have it in all four limbs, and even more rare that I'm actually walking. Cerebral palsy is something that I've been born with it, so like I'd say coming to terms with it, it's not an easy thing to put into words, to be honest. Coming to terms with it, especially from a young age, realising you're not going to be like everybody else, and then realising that that's okay, is a completely different ballgame. It's okay to not be like everyone else. In fact, I'd rather be me, who I want to be, as opposed to what people think I should be. But yeah, as I'm saying anyway, there are a lot of cerebral palsy charities out there in the UK. I'm focusing specifically on the UK at the minute because that's where I am. Not even just CP charities, to be honest. The ones off the top of my head are Up Movement. They're a CP charity that they have a video call every week on a Wednesday night called midweek matters. I joined that video chat thanks to my lovely other half. She got me to get on that video call, and I've met some really lovely people on there. So big up to them as well. I'll put a link to their website in the description of this video. You can go ahead and check that out. Highly recommend it. Yeah. Also, they're not necessarily CP related specifically, but alt movement, ALT movement. They're a gym specifically for those with special needs. Met some wonderful people there. They make me laugh. They really do. Yeah. They adapt exercises for you. If you can't do a specific thing or movement, they'll adapt things to suit your needs, and you'll get exercise, and just as importantly, you'll meet other people with disabilities, maybe even your own. Right? When I was younger, I used to think my disability was quite rare, because I'd never really met anyone with my disability. But since joining Alt Movement and CP Up and a smattering of other things I've done, you realise that there's a lot more people with it than what you'd think. And I'm not going to lie, I recognise people with CP from a mile away, because, well, I know what I'm looking at. We sort of walk in the same way. Yeah. So, yeah. CP has been a part of my life since I was born, obviously. And that brings up a question of, someone asked me before, would I ever wish that I didn't have CP? Now, my initial thought on that was, well, of course. But I sat down and I thought about it, and I thought, I wouldn't know who I would be if I didn't have it. Because as much of a pain in the backside the disability is, it's made me who I am. I've had to toughen up, both physically and emotionally. Physically, because I'm gonna fall over. It's part of having a disability. It's part of having this specific disability, and I'm sure anyone who has cerebral palsy will definitely agree with me on that one. It can be frustrating, don't get me wrong, particularly when you're trying to do something in your hands or whatever, just don't want to do it. I tend to get that in the gym when I'm picking up the barbell, and my wrist doesn't want to rotate when I push over my head, and I get really annoyed because I try and do it and it just doesn't want to. So I'm lifting it like that, and it's, come on, it's not that hard to go like that, is it? Yeah, see, it's small things like that get on my nerves with it, but all in all, like, I'd rather I have it than someone else. Yeah. But the community in general with CP that I've met over the last year or two, since meeting my girlfriend, and we've started going to, like, towards CP stuff, the community that we've met is wonderful. Not even just in the CP community, but disability community in general is amazing. like we've got friends Lauren and Lauren and Warren are two of our closest friends from the gym. They're two amazing people, they really are, and yeah, they have helped me and my other half to really spread out a bit, as opposed to what I'm trying to say is it was nice to have two friends with disabilities as well, because when you have a disability you kind of feel like you're in a bubble, but it's nice to know that there are other people that have similar struggles to you. My girlfriend particularly gets on well with Lauren, where they're both wheelchair users, so there are certain things that they both have in common, particularly when it comes to like wheelchairs, costings and things. I swear to God, some of the prices on wheelchairs are ridiculous. Like, you're talking the price of a small car, generally speaking, but you know, that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, getting back to CP, as I say, there are things that day-to-day life most people wouldn't even think about, whereas myself or my girlfriend, we have to plan shit down to a wire. Like, we can't just, maybe I can, but my other half, who's in a wheelchair, she can't just go down to the train station and go to Southend on a whim just any day of the week. This is where I am lucky, because I can walk freely. I could just jump on the train and go to Southend anytime I wish. Whereas my other half, Abby, it takes planning, and we have to pre-book support. So yeah, all CP Awareness Day is literally, well, the clue's in the name, raising awareness of CP and making sure that people understand that we can't just do stuff. There are certain things we just can't just do. Like, there's a lot of stuff you guys not even have to think twice about. But me or my other half might go, hang on, we got to think about this, then this, or this, and that. It's like, me and my other half were talking about flats the other day, but the thing is, if we get a flat, it's got to be, there's got to be a lift for a wheelchair. It's got to be open plan if we can get it. You got to have the bathroom fitted with equipment to go to the bathroom, to go to the toilets. It's got to be a wet room for a shower, effectively, because her getting in the bath would not be a great idea, but so there's all these sorts of things that people without disabilities won't even consider, but then we have to. And yes, sometimes it does feel like you're banging your head against the wall, but yeah, it all comes together with CP. So yeah, if any of you do have questions for me about cerebral palsy, please do drop them in the comments. I'll get to them and I'll see what I can do. Just try to be respectful about it. That's all I'll ask. Yeah. If you do have CP, then yeah. I'm glad you could join me. Yeah. Happy CP Awareness Day. I'm not sure if you'd say happy, but yeah. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. There's plenty of videos on CP on my channel. Sorry. There's plenty of videos on my TikTok about CP. I've been doing a fact a day, or trying to do one fact a day about CP, but you know, it's kind of actually been kind of hard to find stuff every day. But you know, yeah, yeah, okay. The thing is with CP as well, there's so many variations of it. I've met people that you barely see it. And then I've met other people that are completely wheelchair bound. And then of course you've got young people like my other half, who is in a wheelchair, and she started out, well, I say started out, when I first met her, she struggled to do a lot of things, but over the last 9 years or so, I've watched her progress so far. The amount of effort she puts in. Right, CP can also affect your speech, but with intensive therapy and things, it can be improved. So yeah, as I said a little while ago, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you do, please do give the video a like. If you'd like me to talk more about CP, please do let me know. If you want me to maybe talk about other disabilities, yeah, again, please let me know. There will be links in the description to Out Movement, and Up Movement. Sorry, yeah, Out Movement and Up Movement. In the description, go ahead and check them out. They're both great things. Out Movement isn't necessarily a charity, but they are the only disabled gym in the UK, adaptive gym in the UK, and they are very, very good at what they do. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.